big memorial for him or
It was
whatever.
a thing.
Yeah, the community cup's now named after him. Okay, would you like to play first? Yes. Yes, we would. Would we like to get rid of this? No. No, we would not, because if we can go Ricochet into Noble.
We're cool.
Yep.
We also would like something that would let us play a little faster, but that's okay.
Yes. It'll help sometime in these first couple hands. We pick up
Mulligan.
an early
Do
creature.
it! Mulligan 5 times!
Or just don't show up.
Surfer Boy had to catch some waves.
One or more players fail to show up.
All players failed to show up. No players played this game. No two villagers are not on fire.
So we have the Banshee. We have, pretty good mix of.
You know, for a really cheap deck,
we
we see like no fucking 2-drops.
That's true. We had our 1-drops. And our 3-drops. Do we have 2-drops?
Yeah,
Walking Corpse.
Yeah.
A couple Walking Corpses.
Ashmouth Hound.
Yep.
Drooling ash everywhere.
That he is. It'll sting.
That's a smoker. It's a problem.
Oh, come on, Surfer Boy.
Maybe he's really having a lot of trouble deciding. He's got the there we go. He's got the perfect storm of mulligan or not.
Yep. Well, in that case, I applaud that he took
2 minutes to figure this out.
at least 2 minutes to just stare at his cards intently before clicking OK. And if it was that, I hope he chose wrong. Okay, so now we can for sure do the heir into the noble.
Ha! All that card is a fox. Because you won't be using it to destroy any of our enchantments.
No, you will not. Okay, so we must have some other 2/2 or better.
We are dead. What are you talking about? No way, man. Oddly enough, this part of the country was swept with a massive series of horrible illnesses, of which John's baby caught every one, and then passed it on to us.
Yes. If you do not have a child, don't.
Now.
Yeah, that's not fair. If you don't have a child, you probably don't understand just how often kids get sick, but it is ridiculous. Now, part of that problem is my wife and I both are school teachers, so we every day are exposed to like
The most virulent, horrible monsters ever. Children.
yes, and their germs is what I was getting at. And so the exposure to all of those germs, I think we end up
Do
probably...
nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. Suck it. That's nothing.
Yeah, do that. Don't do...
Keep doing what you were doing, not more of what you were... Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. I stand behind the idea of the yellow thing.
Yes, the yellow thing, of course.
Does this guy have some way to bounce my guys?
He's got blue, so of course he could.
Oh, something that someone told me. You can cast the guy, alters reap him, and then return him using his own
can,
trigger.
What?
Because the trigger happens when he enters the battlefield, so in response you can kill him. If we had one more land, I would have done it right there, probably.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
But since we have another one,
Okay. So we have to choose a creature to keep, and we're going to make him lose a lot of life, and we're going to gain a lot of life. And we're also going to come out ahead because we have another Ghoul Eraser to return a Ghoul Eraser.
mm-hmm.
If we want to, we now have a 3/3 flyer. Or still have a 3/3 flyer.
So what does the sharpened pitchfork do? It's like first strike?
Yeah. And +1/+1 if it's on a human.
Right. Which the fox is definitely not.
Right. Okay, so yes, we want our Ghoul Eraser. And our other ghoul.
And one more mana.
One more and we'll be in pretty good shape. That I especially like having the Banshee there.
I like the fact that we can ghoul color Tango here.
Yeah. Okay, he's got that thing that's a 3/4, which is going to be enough to hold back our noble for a second. We could attack with one of those, and then Banshee
Sure.
if he lets it through.
Or if he doesn't let it through.
Right. Actually, let's go with this guy. Just by switching that, he's probably gonna.
He's gonna like, what are they doing? What kind of nonsense is this?
The great thing is we could even just using our noble
And this
do the Tango to get it there, but I prefer the kill your guy in the air.
Oh, I agree.
Yep.
That's the second time that the Banshee has hit the table and people have been like, fuck!
Yeah. I just quit. Okay. So his deck, what did it do?
They put out foxes.
Yes, it put out foxes. It had it had zombies. So a Curse of Oblivion potentially
Would be good.
would be good to be clearing out his graveyard. Now, what would be worth trading for that? I'm not sure. Or if it's worth trading for that. Probably isn't. We only saw one card there
I could also see putting in the typhoid rats.
instead of Ashmouth Hand.
Probably.
Sure, we'll try that. That's not great. That's keepable though. Screeching Bats is an okay creature to start with. For what I thought our deck was going to be,
It's not doing that at all.
no.
No, it's been very odd in that regard.
Yeah, it's been nowhere near as aggressive as I wanted it to be, but
But it keeps winning, so we can't really complain.
right.
No, like you said, sometimes it's like you have that really aggressive deck and it doesn't have the finish. Apparently ours has a little more finish.
Mm-hmm.
See, it puts out foxes. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We can find some way to just screw him out of his foxes.
Yeah, need that card that you name a card.
Oh, Nevermore?
Well, no, there's the one where it's like you name a card and they can't put out that card.
I thought that was Nevermore.
Isn't Nevermore? Or no, yeah, you're right, Nevermore. I was thinking of Journey to Nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nevermore. Yeah, like oh.
If we had a Nevermore for his foxes,
He'd
game
bone. He'd be
over.
like, well, what's the point in playing?
Yeah. What am I going to do with these 60 cards? Or
Just see 60 foxes. 40 card deck. 60 foxes.
Okay, so this thing's going to get bigger. But no need to overreact. There is an enchantment that he could actually kill with his fox. Dead weight, although we are hoping that he will die before he's given that chance. I could trade with it, but I don't think I need to. At this point, I think I just take the 4.
Okay.
I should have put out a swamp instead of this blood hall. Because then we would have 3 swamps and I could do dead weight and a ghoul raiser.
Oh well.
But instead, I'll just do a ghoul raiser. We have another ghoul raiser. So if we get into a situation where we trade, then we can bring him back. Because I don't think he'll tap him down on the attack. He might, but I think he would want to wait till the end of his turn.
So I've been watching this show on Netflix
Okay.
called The Colony, which is an interesting concept.
Uh-huh.
And if it hadn't been planned by a retard, it would probably be pretty awesome.
Uh-huh.
But the basic concept behind the show is that it's like an experiment to see how people could survive after a massive worldwide emergency / catastrophe, Armageddon-ish kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's a sort of a survival horror, but with less horror.
Okay.
So they have all these things, but they have like this giant, I don't know, like 8 blocks of LA that they've cordoned off. And then you have these 10 people who are sent in here, and they have to survive for 10 weeks or something.
Right.
It's like, all right, that's an interesting concept. But then they have these weird requirements of them. Like, they provided this place called that was their sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to stay there.
Okay.
They're not allowed to leave. I mean, it's like, fine, you can't leave LA. Even though all of them are like, we need to leave. LA is bullshit. We should be in the country by now.
Right.
But it's like, fine, within the confines of it, you can't leave LA. So you can't leave your 8 block area.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I can accept this. But then they have people that are coming up and, like, fucking with them. Like, breaking into their place and stealing their shit and all this stuff. But they have not, near as I can tell, provided any means for them to actually do violence to each other. They make stuff. They swing sticks around. But it's really obvious that they aren't willing to. I mean, they're going to kill anybody because it's still a show. And then you have this gal who's like a psychiatrist who every fucking episode comes on and tells you the same thing, sometimes 2 or 3 times an episode. After a number of weeks in an immersive environment, the threats become real over and over again.
Just for those.
Oh, wait, is there a game going on?
Yes. We are about ready to lose, but we did just have a good turn of events where we were able to kill a couple of their creatures. They're out of cards, but have a silent departure, so can bounce one of our creatures.
This isn't good then.
No, it's not a good place to be, but if they bounced only one, if they use that to attack in, then we'd still have some life.
Okay.
And with this, I think,
Unless he's got a whole lot of tricks.
yeah. Now that is going to give him something that has flying, but we do have our bat.
Or batty batty bat bat.
He just got that thing, which may be first striking.
That's a little annoying.
Yes. So I could flip the bat and have a 5/5, but at this point, I think we're better off doing the Ghoul Razor Tango.
Okay.
And we can just block this guy in perpetuity if he attacks. Which, if he does attack, then this guy could attack him on him. So I'm not sure whether he will attack. The silent
You're waiting for that thing
Yeah.
to...
the
For
silent
that shoe to
departure
drop.
just has to be coming at some point. Okay, so he's going to Bonds of Faith, so he will get in. Puts us on a 4-turn clock.
Well, anyway, it just has a lot of... it has a lot of rules to it
Uh-huh.
that seem really weird. Like, I mean, there's a point where these people show up and are like, hey, we were here first. This is our place. And I like a key, and we let him in. And then he and his girlfriend proceeded to just act like total assholes. And they get to this point where it's like, I mean, I think I would have killed him at this point. I'm pretty sure he's stealing our shit, like our food, and wrecking up the place. And he's like 6'6" and made of nothing but muscle.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm pretty sure I would have stabbed him in the kidneys. I'm not positive, but I think if I was actually in this
Right.
survival situation, because they end up throwing him out, and he's like swearing revenge as they do it.
Right.
And I'm thinking, no, this guy's a problem.
Yeah.
I would have killed him in the heat of it all, not like, oh shit,
Right. Well,
later.
now we have to. Okay, so we have lost.
Yeah.
And
We just didn't see anything that time.
right. I'm thinking that it would be worth it to put in that Curse of Oblivion.
Okay.
Because we saw a couple of them there. The Typhoid Rats I like, actually, because that makeshift mauler, that would be an answer.
There's
for
lots
that.
of things that they help with, yeah.
I'm thinking Corpse Lunge is probably the card to switch out. That's not going to kill much of his... He seemed to have some bigger creatures.
Fair enough.
I think that.
All right.
Okay, yes, we want to play first. And... No.
We're going to keep it?
Yeah. We can kill a couple of his early guys. And
All right.
we have a lot of creatures.
So we do have a lot of creatures in this deck.
So we should be drawing into something soon.
No, really, honest.
Yeah.
As long as we see that mountain, we're set. But no, it's got some interesting things about it. But it also has, well, okay. For instance, then the other weird thing with this show.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Every single person in the group is like highly trained or highly skilled. You have there's 10 people here, and you have a contractor, a doctor, a nurse, a mechanic, a fabricator, and then a handful of scientists of various different types, and one guy who was in the military and is a scientist.
Right.
It's like, well, sure, if you get the god draw on your party, I suppose it helps. Because they're making shit like water ozonators in order to purify their water.
So
Using a Tesla coil.
here we probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't have killed the fox, because if he has a Stitch Drake right here. Yep. I gave him.
You gave him the meat?
I mean, there's a good chance we just lost the game, based largely on that play right there.
Too bad dead weight doesn't make things lose flying.
Yeah.
It totally should.
Yeah. We probably have to dead weight him anyway. And make him a 1/2 flyer that we don't really fear.
Well, at least he doesn't have the fox in order to destroy the dead. Whoa.
Well, yeah, he had to exile the fox. Except he has a deck made of nothing but foxes.
Come on, deck, work. You were doing fine before.
Yeah. And this is how you treat us?
And this is how you pay us back for all our kind and selfish-loving deeds? Huh? Well, you just wait. They'll find you yet. And when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt.
Alright. Well, we're going to curse you, even if we're going to lose. And it may be that we have to Altars Reap our guy, just to see if we can
Draw into something
Yeah.
useful. I can see that. Because, that's a problem.
Yeah. not many turns away from losing. Ooh, that's a problem. That thing.
What's that one do?
You,
Target player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Mind trigger deal gets access until. Ooh.
yeah. And if he fires it off twice and even gets like that and that, then he's getting +6/+6. I mean,
Yeah, that's ugly. Well, that doesn't hurt my feelings.
yeah.
Strange as it was.
Yeah, he's still going to kill us through the air quickly.
Yeah.
We never saw those cobbled wings. That sure.
Yeah, that would have been
nice.
okay. Oh, well, we were playing.
Well, good. You ditched our demon and got +5/+5.
Huh. Ha! Nothing, bitch!
There you go.
Ah, who's feeling greedy?
Yeah.
Who's gonna kill us like right now? I mean, not quite, but
But soon.
we'll put another thing in the air. What the fuck, right?
Exactly.
Well, that was draft beer, everybody.
Indeed. And yeah. We came against a flying deck and had
And got flown
pretty
on.
much no answer.
We got ranched.
We did. One of the cards that I really like in this set that we did not get is that one-eyed scarecrow, specifically because of the
This
number
kind of
of
bullshit.
decks like this. That just -1, -0 on all flyers can just kill spirit decks.
Sure.
And instead, he just flew over our head and beat us on turn 7.
Well, you know, evasion. Ha!
Oh well. Interesting deck. Performed very well. Even beat this guy
Got it
soundly game 1.
Yep.
And certainly didn't in game 2 or 3. But that's light draft beer.
Yep, there we go.
And who knows?
You lose some, you lose some.
Yep. And then you make a website out of it.
Damn right.
If there's some archetype you'd like to see us try, that's the great thing about Innistrad. There are many out there that are viable. I've drafted blue-white flyers. I've drafted werewolves. I've drafted
Lost of all of them. It's amazing.
Graveyard zombie. I've drafted black-red aggro.
This deck was not nearly as aggro-y as I
No, it was
It sort of sat there and shit itself all day.
We probably should have been mulliganing.
More aggressively.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
But
Oh well.
we never do, and then we always say we should.
Well, yeah, it never works out when we
No,
do.
when we mulligan, we get no land, and then we end up at
With all land, and then we get no land, and then we have to keep it.
yep. Then we keep a no land 3-card hand.
Yep. Because we're dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
But would an all land 2-card hand really be better?
No, but whatever we do, we know we're gonna lose. So
See, what would be even better is if when you mulligan,
uh-huh.
the cards that you threw just went right into your graveyard. So you could end up with a very small deck and only 2 cards in hand.
Right.
So it's not like you can say, "Oh, well, at least I'll get these back."
Well,
And in
some
this
ways would
environment-
improve your odds. Like if you had all land and you pitched them all in the graveyard. Oh, and then your chances of totally getting monohose.
Oh yeah, no, you could
Greatly
end up
improved,
in.
yeah.
I mean, it could be really awful, but in Innistrad, it would lead to interesting things where you like chuck all of your cards in the graveyard,
Right.
just over and over and over again, just to fill your graveyard up.
Too bad that Richard Garfield guy didn't have some, foresight to see that building that into the rules.
Would have been really awful later on, and it's so much better this way.
Yep. That's Richard Garfield.
But-
Never thinking
Yep.
about the horrible possibilities that could have been.
It could have been. Yeah, no, that's Mark Rosewater's job.
Yes.
His job is to not think about the horrors that are coming.
Right.
So,
And he does a hell of a job.
all right. So I guess with a little luck, John and I will see you next week.
Yeah, we should be able to do it next week, assuming no child gets sick. And we won back 2 packs. That's the thing I like about 4322. I don't feel that bad. It's like we lost a couple ticks in a pack and had
Sure.
a good evening. So,
All right.
see you next week. It may be a while until Bob is able to join us again, probably post Thanksgiving.
His head was removed, and they're hoping the graft takes.
Mm-hmm. And we all know it won't.
Yeah.